On this special edition of The Exchange, we take over a leading international university and find out how the multi-trillion euro education sector is transforming the way people learn. Welcome to The Exchange, I'm Guy Schoen, and on this special episode we've come to Northwestern University in Qatar to look at the business of education. Research by the World Economic Forum earlier this year forecasted a future for education very different to the world of traditional lecture halls and formal end-of-year exams. Our reporter Laila Hamaira has gone inside to find out more about this high-tech future.
Yes, Guy, I'm in a space called The Forum, where staff and students from 60 different countries can connect and congregate, surrounded by the latest communications technology. The reach of digital connectivity has helped colleges and universities embrace more flexibility, increasingly offering online classes. Studies have also shown that traditional lectures alone can be ineffective and inefficient ways of teaching, compared with digital experiences that allow more interaction and problem-solving practice. And are we seeing the death of the final exam? Many universities are starting to ditch standardized tests due to concerns that the big final exam isn't an accurate reflection of a student's true competence.
And those changes to the way people are learning are evident here at Northwestern University in Qatar. We're here at their state-of-the-art newsroom, and I have to say, as you walk around a place like this, it's hard to believe that you're in a university and not in the newsroom of a major media organisation. Well, let's meet the Dean now of the university, Dean Marwan Crady. Dean, thanks so much for joining us on the show, and more importantly, letting us take over your amazing studio facilities. And walking around here, we can see so many examples of real-life, hands-on learning. Is that a trend that you see just in the media industry, or is it also something that's more widespread?
I think it's very important to the media sector. Look, I mean, we are part of a very established United States tradition, the American liberal arts tradition. So the way it works, we have a grounding in the liberal arts, history, philosophy, literature, no longer Latin and Greek, but a lot of social sciences and humanities. But we have professional curricula. So our students come in as they're learning, the history of the British Empire. They're learning how to operate high-end cameras. They're learning how to edit. They're learning how to report. And I think it's in these two going in tandem that we achieve success. Now, of course, the actual learning, the experiential learning is crucial, right? Because you can no longer send somebody to a media organization who has no clue at all about the technology. Does it work? Sometimes, rarely. But the technology has become so complicated, the skills have become so multiple, that there's an expectation that even a beginner professional need to have some skills in addition to their theoretical, didactic type of education. And I think that's everywhere.
So hands-on learning and teaching from anywhere are two trends shaping the future of the sector. But how can companies capitalise on these new trends? Well, we sent Jack Parrock to Belgium to meet a team with the technology to turn these ideas into reality.
Hi, Guy. Yeah, I'm down here in Western Belgium in the town of Kortrijk to visit a company called Barco. Now, they're trying to use their classroom technology to spread education as widely as possible. Let's go and take a look.
Welcome, everybody, to the session on WeConnect.
Classrooms and training sessions online, a staple of schools and businesses in the post-pandemic world. But hundreds of educational institutions globally have brought in a Barco studio in an attempt to boost engagement.
As a trainer, as a professor, you really have a very close contact with your remote audience. You see all of them. When somebody's distracted, you will be able to notice it and to interact with it, creating a completely different dynamic.
There's a broad range of tools, Q&A sessions, polls, visual aids, etc. Business schools especially appear to have adopted remote learning as a norm now. It's big business for Barco. This started as the Belgian-American Radio Corporation. Founded in 1934, they made radios coming from the States. The firm has also tailor-made studios so that surgeons around the world can follow each other in the operating theatre live.
One of the use cases we focus on is assisting the surgeon. So with a remote expert helping the surgeon, aiding the surgeon and giving him remote assistance. But the other use case, which is popping up now really quickly, is remote training, remote education.
They say this is just the beginning of what they're doing. Not just education to teach, but also to save lives.
An organisation working to achieve these goals is JA Europe. They're the largest provider of educational programmes for work readiness, financial literacy and entrepreneurship on the continent. Here's their CEO talking about how all of this can help shape the future of Europe.
Imagine that while we're talking right now, 370,000 young entrepreneurs are going through our company program. Those will be eventually the unicorns that Europe need to rebuild the economies. Because if we really want to rebuild the economy, we need to look at the traditional sectors, definitely, but we're looking at the future. We really need to imagine what is going to be the world of work of those young people. So we are reversing the engineering. We're looking at where the jobs are. We are disaggregating the skills. And we're training the young people to be successful entrepreneurs or getting a successful job.
Changing lives through education. That's Salvatore Nigro, the CEO of JA Europe. Now it's time for our regular feature, Business in 60 Seconds. Start the clock. The European Statistics Board releases wage growth data for the third quarter. As the cost of living soars across the region, experts are concerned that wages aren't being raised fast enough to catch up with inflation. But companies like Stellantis and LVMH have vowed to hike wages and pay one-off bonuses to help employees cope with a tough winter. The Bank of Japan announces its interest rate decision. Despite inflation hitting record highs, the central bank has been reluctant to raise interest rates, saying the country's fragile economy still needs monetary support in the form of ultra-low interest rates. And US food conglomerate General Mills reports its second quarter fiscal results. The owner of household brands like Betty Crocker and Nature Valley has been delivering strong earnings this year, raising its full-year forecast in the previous quarter. But uncertainty around consumer sentiment, inflation and supply chain disruptions could cloud the rosy outlook. Technology has made learning from anywhere a reality. The desire for quality education, for reputable qualifications, probably hasn't changed too much since the days when I was at university, but the business landscape has. Courses, coaching and assessments are now being delivered to every corner of the planet, serving millions of students simultaneously. Well, that's all we have time for on this special edition of the show here at Northwestern University in Qatar. Please do check out Euronews.com for all your latest business news and join us again next time on The Exchange.